Welcome to Vintage Radio Cafe, your #1 channel for relaxing vintage audio restoration. If you like watching an idiot wielding a soldering iron, you've come to the right place. Watch Ray's attempts to fix wonderful forgotten radios from another era, way before transistors. Sometimes he even gets them working again. What could go wrong, right?
Okay, everybody, so welcome back. So at this point of the restoration, I'm pretty confident to say the electronic part is pretty much done. Maybe there's a few caps I'll be swapping on the volume control and balance control, maybe in hopes that I'll get rid of the residual hum that I have. It's not very loud, but there's a bit of hum, so maybe replacing those caps will solve the issue. What I want to show you now is the inside of the cabinet, okay, as it stands now. So everything's been recapped and cleaned pretty much to my satisfaction. New rectifiers in, new filter caps are in, restuffed the original can. So everything's working now. What I have to do at this point is remove yet again the chassis and transformer. I'm not kidding you guys. I must have taken it out 10 times, 10, 12 times, put it back, test it and all that, just because of those connectors there. Okay, I couldn't remove the chassis and do my usual test with just a few free leads going to the speakers, because those guys also carry high voltage. And yeah, no, I wasn't about to use 9 alligator clips and put them all loosely on the bench. I thought it was too dangerous, too hazardous, especially with high voltage. So every time I had to do a test, I had to take the cabinet and transformer assembly out and put it back in. So now I'm going to take it out again and start working on the speakers in order to remove them. And there's an array of connectors here, okay, which is usually the case. And I'll unsolder the minimum of wires I can on each side, okay, and try to remove everything just like a spider web, take everything out, lay it on the bench, and then work on one speaker at a time. Most likely I'll have to refoam them, the big ones, most likely. I don't know how they're made. And all of this in order to get access and remove the board with the grill cloth and start cleaning the grill cloth. Having a clean grill cloth for me is very, very important. In this case, I don't believe that I need to change it. I'll probably be able to clean it, to my liking, which is, I know I have high standards, how clean my radios look. But I have confidence with my method using OxyClean, a little bit of bleach, and some peroxide at the end. I'll probably get the grill cloth clean enough. So let me just start working on that. I'll try to do some footage to show you guys. But that's the plan for today. And today it's very, very nice outside, very sunny, although cold. Our nights go all the way down to minus 20, 21, 22, 23 for this time of the season. During the day, it goes back up to anywhere from minus 12 to minus 4. And we're expecting a big snowstorm tomorrow. And it's going to be going on the next day and the day after. So we might get as much as anywhere between 25 and 40 centimeters of snow. So that's going to be a pain. You're going to have a lot of shoveling to do. Although we have a contractor that does the parking per se, we still have to do all our sidewalks, steps, and access way by hand. So, hey, it's great living in Canada, right? So be back as soon as I start working on removing all those components. Okay guys, so this is the grill cloth board taken off of the radio, and as you can see, I can see it's yellowed on this side as well. This part is pretty much the original color, so there's a couple of shades of yellow difference, and even more where the speakers are in the back, pushing dirty air. And I told you I was seeing a bit of a roll here. Yeah, it was like that in the radio. There was a bit of a roll, and like as suspected, there's it's been unglued here. So you can maybe see. Maybe let me move in closer. It's like ridges. The glue has been applied with a rake of some sort, not a paintbrush per se. Maybe you can see that. So it makes it that much more difficult to re-glue that. And I have two choices. I could use some tacky glue, which would be the easiest solution. You know, we just spread it around here and just spread it with a paintbrush. But since the next step, once the glue is dried, I have to wet this. I have to really clean it with water, chemicals, and I'll be applying a bit of heat as well to activate the bleach in the Clorox compound mix there, whatever the chemical. So I do use a blow dryer for that, but I'm afraid this will not, because this water is solvable. Yeah, I don't think that would be strong enough. Water would probably soften it and dissolve it after. So the other option that I have is using a spray adhesive. This is really tough, Gorilla. Although I'm not sure spraying it, if it will, you know, go deep between the ridges. Not sure, but one way of doing it is just spraying glue on one side. You put it on and it doesn't stick right away, so that's why that would be an advantage, because I need to, you know, take those clips, and when I glue it, you know, just, you know, clip them down, clip the material down, so I can realign the fibers. I don't know if you can see here how wavy it is. So there needs to be, so I need a really strong bond and something really strong to hold it in while the glue is going to cure. Something like that. Yeah. Yeah. Or the other solution, which is even stronger, is to apply, you know, spray glue on one side and on the other side. When you do that, you wait a couple of minutes and then it's stuck. Once, if you choose that method and to coat both sides with the glue, then it bounds instantly, or just about. So I'll see. I won't do this on the bench. I'm set up in the other room with a not a blanket, but a big plastic cover and some newspaper. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna ponder on that. But you see the issue, right? All this, and it's not all around. It's really just here. For some reason, the glue. Yeah, because the heat is probably rising from the radio, and it's at an angle. So it would make sense. This part would become hotter first. Although wait, I'm just thinking out loud here. So no matter reason, no matter how it happened, I gotta fix this. So be right back when it's done, and when I can start working on the cleaning. So the gluing is done, or partially done at least. So I went with the with the Gorilla, because I'm going to be wetting the cloth. So I don't trust the tacky glue will resist the water, especially not so shortly after being applied. I'm going to wait, a few hours, but I trust this stuff more. So now I have to, after I wait another half hour or so, although they say it bonds it after 10 minutes. I still have to do the top side, which I couldn't do in one shot. So either I use some Gorilla Glue again, or I try to just do the little part with the tacky, at least tacky glue, maybe. We'll see. So it won't be that critical on this part. So we'll see. And yesterday I cleaned all the speakers, and they came up really good, although it's pretty rough metal, pretty rough aluminum. I tried to polish it, but it doesn't work too well, but at least it's clean. I still have to dust off the inside with compressed air, but it's snowing like mad here, so I can't do it on the balcony, not until it stops snowing. And I have to show you this. And put you down. Look at the size of the foam here. First of all, it's not foam, it's heavy duty felt, about at least 1/4 of an inch, and it's, like the day was installed. Absolutely perfect. So no refoaming to do, at least. But doing the side cloth is going to be a little bit problematic. Okay guys, so here's the part I want to show you. I'll show you from this side. Okay, this is the side grill cloth, plastic grill that holds the cloth in place. But usually there's an overhang, and you put it by this side. There's an overhang here, and there's a piece of wood over it. And that's how it's held up, but not this time. What they did, it's a simpler piece of plastic, and they just glued it on, and it's glued really, really tight, really solid. It's really not worth, in my view, it's not worth trying to push it out, remove it. I would probably need heat, and it's too risky. It's either going to melt or break. There's a small tear here, barely noticeable, and there's a stain here, but aside from that, on this side it's pretty whole. The other side is even better, a little bit dirty. I might just take a rag and take the dirt off, maybe, but there's not much that shows. Let me show you here, shining a light through it. Yeah. Here, no, we don't really see the hole. So I'm gonna go like that. I'm not gonna try to remove that. That's my point. Now let me show you the growth cloth glued back in place. Okay, now as far as the re-gluing of the cloth goes, well, like I said, I use from here to there, that part, I use Gorilla self-adhesive, sprayable adhesive, not self-adhesive. And for the side, I use some tacky glue, and it seems to have worked very good. Seems to be solid, but I'll wait 24 hours until I start cleaning the grill cloth, because I'm going to be using OxyClean, bleach, peroxide, so all those chemicals. I got to be really sure that the glue is going to hold up, although I won't have to wet the sides that much, but around here, this is where there's going to be the most liquid and scrubbing, chemicals and all that. So I'll come back when this is done.
Équipe égale, parce qu'il y a des joueurs qui sont capables de jouer à haut tempo de l'autre côté. Mais toi, tu considères qu'il y en a plus chez le Canada? Le Canada va être plus avantagé en zone neutre, les Américains vont être plus avantagés en fond de territoire du Canada. Alors, les joueurs des deux équipes sautent sur la patinoire pour commencer la période d'échauffement. Et tout à coup, on s'est mis à penser qu'il ne serait peut-être pas la solution pour le match contre les Américains. Ça a flotté un peu parce que hier, l'entraîneur John Cooper il a sauvé la mise. Il a permis à Marner et à Crosby de préparer le but gagnant parce qu'il a sauvé la mise avant. Il n'y en aurait pas eu de but de Marner s'il n'y avait pas eu cet arrêt spectaculaire. Il a fait 2 arrêts en particulier dans la période de prolongation qui ont vraiment mis les choses en place pour permettre à son équipe de l'emporter. L'entraîneur Cooper n'a pas voulu ouvrir, si vous permettez l'expression, hier sur Jordan Bennington parce qu'on s'est essayé à 3-4 reprises du côté des médias à le questionner, à contourner l'histoire qu'il ne voulait pas donner au Matthew parce qu'il se retrouve dans la même conférence. Et fauteur de trouble, ça récupère la rondelle puis ça met la rondelle dans le filet. Non, écoute, ils sont très efficaces en espace restreint. Ça, je te disais.
Good morning, everybody. It's like 6:25 a.m. Sun is not even up yet. It's what, 15th day working on the radio, and this is what I got. Yeah, I managed to find brass trims, and it took me 4 hours to cut them to size and make the 45-degree angle cuts. Yesterday I could get them exactly to the dimensions I needed, and they're just protruding maybe 1/16 of an inch, which is what I wanted. Same here. I restained and varnished and polished the beveled facing here, which I hope is going to give a little bit more character to the radio. The trims came from these guys, from onlinemetals.com. They're based in the US. They have 7 warehouses where they stock and make those trims custom, exactly to the size you need. And no kidding, it took them 4 days to ship and to get here 4 days, all the way from, they sent it from Wallingford, Connecticut, and I can't believe it, 4 days. They cost me, I ordered 3 24-inch strips, and it cost me $60 with shipping, taxes, and everything. So maybe a bit on the expensive side, but hey, for something custom like that, and I'm not kidding, it's fits great. I don't have much tools here, as you know, and maybe the joints are not perfect, but it's going to be really close enough. And what I'm thinking of using to glue them in place is this guy. Because I was thinking, you know, since I got that radio, I've been thinking about those trims. I knew they were going to be a challenge to find and to install. And in my head, from day one, I was thinking construction adhesive. But the only thing I had was in a can. So I really couldn't imagine trying to put this with a, I don't know what I would have used to spread it on. A scraper maybe, a little scraper. Or even a screwdriver. But when I went to the store, to the hardware store, I saw this, made from Lepage, and it's a construction adhesive, perfectly clear. Actually, I thought it was silicone, but it's an adhesive, and it's the same principle as the paste one you have in can. You've got 10 minutes to play around with it, to adjust, and it takes up to 24 hours to cure. So the plan today is to remove the trims, polish them with Brasso again, although they are much, much better than I would have thought. From the picture, I thought they were really more rough than that. As you can see, there are some blemishes, some, you know, probably from the tools, but I believe they will come out with some Brasso. So the plan today is to do that, remove them, polish them, and maybe sand down the sharp edges here on the corners. Once I remove them, I already sanded down the wooden part underneath, but it's not perfect. Some corners are higher, so I'll try to adjust that as best as I can. But the ultimate goal is to have something that's going to be there for a long time. It's going to be permanent. It's not going to fall off like the original ones. And I believe the original ones fell off because they didn't use solid brass rods like those. I believe what they use is something hollow, maybe a U-shape, hollow trim. So there wasn't much gluing surface, you know, making contact on the wood, I believe. So hopefully this will be more sturdy, it'll last longer. And also I finished cleaning the grill cloth. Not perfect, but hey, I tried it inside the cabinet and doesn't really show. But compared to what it was before, I think it's going to look okay. Maybe a little bit more than okay. So that's the plan for today. I'll be back when I'm done. Maybe I'll show you the whole radio completely finished. That's all I have to do. Aside from maybe changing a few capacitors on the volume control and the balance control, like I said before, they seem fine, but because they're covered with plastic, they're not just regular paper caps. They really have a plastic coating, so they don't physically, you know, mechanically, they didn't degrade as much as the other regular paper caps. Which doesn't mean they're not leaky though, but they're quite tedious to replace. So that's why I didn't do them yet. And they have two of them have a third lead for grounding, and I have to isolate those caps. So I might do that today, since I'm gonna have to wait for the glue to cure anyways. So I'm close to the end now, guys. And I also use automotive compound on the cabinet, plus a few coats of wax. And I'll try to, use some brown felt pencils to cover those little nicks. But otherwise, I'm really happy how it came out. It's really smooth, it's really clean, and it smells good with the carnauba wax. I just love that stuff. So that's where I'm at, and I'm close to finishing this. So I'll be back when I'm done. Okay, folks, so welcome back. We've come full circle once again. It's been 7 weeks, though, since I started working on this Telefunken Concertino 5384W Hi-Fi. 7 weeks instead of my regular 3 to 4 weeks, simply because I had all sorts of bad news in my family. I lost 2 cousins since Christmas, then 2 aunts, and I spent a week with my brother at his bedside because he was passing a kidney stone, like I said. So all this kept me away from the bench for many weeks. And I was also having trouble focusing. When I came back from the funeral parlor, let's say, I couldn't really concentrate. And maybe that's why I did more mistakes than I usually do. But in my defense, on the power supply section, especially the wires coming from the transformer, they were a mess. They were so brittle. I've never seen this before. I mean, I can understand the insulation, the shielding on the exterior might be brittle, especially like I demonstrated with the varnish, but that a wire would break inside. Anyways, most of the things I did, I had to redo once or twice. So without further ado, because that's what we're here for today, is to see how it looks like now. And I finished the installation of the trims. So there you have it. I must say I'm really proud of it. I really like the looks now. The grill cloth makes a big difference, as well as the restaining, revarnishing of this beveled fascia, let's call it like that. And of course, the new brass trims. I was really lucky to find this. And I have to say thank you to my friend Trina Reynolds. Trina has her own channel, John's Furniture and Repairs. She's in BC now. Yeah, Saskatchewan. She works really, really well. You have to see her channel. And she's the one that suggested, I was looking for those trims. She's the one that suggested to get some what do you call, stock brass, stock metal. And I wasn't sure at first. I thought I needed something more finished, but no, turns out with a bit of polishing, I didn't use Brasso, just 4-odd fine steel wool did the job. It was just a bit of dirt from the warehouse, I imagine, but all little blemishes and maybe tool marks, they came out really, really easy. Yeah, I wish I could show it to you in person, but you'll see close-ups. As far as replacing the components go, well, for this one, as you can see, I had to change, seven of the 8 tubes. I only kept the ECC83, the 12AX7, if you will. All the other ones were really, really bad. I did all the electrolytics. I also did, this is a Grundig can. I just put it there. So you can imagine that I restuffed the original big filter can. I also did the electrolytics on the speakers, the bulbs, changed the rectifier. That was an adventure in its own right. and all those regular paper caps. If they are here, let me tell you, they were way off spec, like 40, 50, 60% too high. So absolutely, I'm sure they were leaking. I said I was going to maybe do the 4 caps around the volume control and the balance control, but I ended up, first of all, I realized there were 2 more I didn't see, so there were 6. I replaced the first 2, and once I measured them properly out of circuit, they were absolutely perfect. I measured the 2 second ones, same thing, 0.01 or 0.1, they were spot on. I've never seen that. Yeah, and I attribute that to the fact that they are not paper caps per se. They're covered with a plastic coating, so I think this is what saved them. And you'll see here the list of all the components I've changed, instead of naming all of them. And yeah, let's have a closer look and have a listen.
Le boxeur Jean Pascal a été acquitté d'une accusation de refus de passer l'alcotest. Une vidéo filmée par des amis qui l'accompagnaient ce soir-là en novembre 2022 aurait démontré qu'il avait bel et bien tenté de souffler dans l'appareil. À sa sortie du palais de justice, Jean Pascal a indiqué à Cogeco que malgré le résultat favorable à son endroit, les dommages collatéraux demeuraient, eux, fort importants.
Qu'est-ce que je trouve dommage, c'est qu'on m'a failli pour rien. Sur la place publique, on m'a reconnu coupable même avant mon jugement. J'ai perdu de l'argent, j'ai dépensé de l'argent, j'ai perdu des commanditaires. J'étais supposé d'avoir commencé avec Mercedes et ça n'a pas eu lieu à cause de ces...
Je regarde les commentaires sur Instagram, puis je comprends mieux pourquoi y a du monde qui veulent pas se montrer.
But when you choose to stand beside someone who has stated over and over again that one of his political goals is essentially the extinction of our country, and we've been assured, you know, not just by him, but people around him, and even our own political representatives who've gone to Washington, that he's not kidding. That by economic force or whatever force is necessary, the current president of the United States is posing the greatest existential threat to Canada since what?
Montreal's #1 hit music station. Turn it up. 95.9 Virgin Radio.
Les rivières, nous courons.
Il semble pas qu'il y ait d'entente à l'horizon. Alors, est-ce que les Hurricanes risqueraient de faire une autre transaction et aller chercher quelque chose en retour de Rantanen? On verra. Peut-être qu'ils vont aller au bout de l'année avec. Mais c'est quoi la vraie valeur de Rantanen maintenant qu'on a une chance de l'évaluer dans un...
C'est bien important parce que les opportunités sont pas là très souvent, puis la quantité est pas là et le temps que tu as pour t'exécuter est de plus en plus court.
Je parlais avec des jeunes juniors de la tournée de la LHJMQ, j'ai fait des entrevues tout à l'heure, puis les gars me disaient que oui, samedi, parce qu'ils avaient regardé ça, ça glace, même si on y a peut-être déjà dit 150 fois.
Mm-hmm. Ben, écoute, je sais pas si le tournoi des 4 Nations a parlé, avant hier, a parlé de, tu sais, la préparation.
Okay, guys. It's past midnight. I finished the Telefunken a few hours ago. I did the final episode, and I've cleared the bench, and I brought the radio upstairs, and I just absolutely have to show you this. So I moved the radio upstairs, and downstairs It was playing okay. I could tell it needs an alignment, both IF and RF. So we're in the basement. Maybe you can hear it. Let's go upstairs.
Thank you so much for that news. Hello, and a very warm welcome.
You hear that?
Thank you so much for joining us this morning here on Newsday on BBC World Service with Rob Young and Victoria Wanda. Coming up this first half hour, we have stories for you from Ukraine, the United States, and Syria. In business, Katie Silva will be looking at Apple's plans to invest $500 billion in the US. And in sport, Isaac Fannin will, among other things, delve into the story of racist allegations against Jose Mourinho following statements
what's
he
so
made
special
at a
about
football
this
match
is
in the Turkish league. We always appreciate your
can
thoughts
show
and
you
your
this.
comments on the stories you hear on the program. Our number on WhatsApp and text is
See here?
+44 77 86 20
It's all the
50
way
85.
to the end. It's 107.8.
Within the past hour, the Ukrainian
That's
authorities
Burlington.
have put the entire country under
It's
an
a
air
station
raid
that I
warning
do
of
get, but
incoming Russian
so
missile
far
attacks.
away.
And the Air Force in neighbouring Poland has been scrambled over concerns.
Even my modern
missiles came uncomfortably close to Polish
systems
territory. While the state of the conflict
don't
in
get a
Ukraine
stereo
was discussed in Washington,
signal.
D.C. by President
Okay,
Trump and by
I get reception,
who was visiting the White
but
House. They said a ceasefire
to
between
get it on
Ukraine
this
and
one,
Russia could be agreed
on this
in coming
1962
weeks. President Trump has irritated
radio.
America's allies by
Listen to
speaking
this.
Russia's leader Vladimir Putin and falsely claiming that Ukraine.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. They had a problem at the station. They just stopped transmitting. It happens sometimes. But my point is,
to maintain this
listen
peace
to
and
this.
our collective credibility with the US backup and a US backstop.
Meanwhile, in New York, the Trump administration's changing stance on the war has been highlighted at the United Nations, where America's envoy repeatedly voted alongside Russia.
Not kidding,
There's a
guys.
dramatic difference
This
in
is
America's
the
position
ultimate test
compared to the first 3 years
for radio of that era.
full-scale invasion. Well, I've been
And,
discussing this with former Republican congressman and broadcaster J.D. Hayworth.
Let's go in the kitchen.
From the teammate of the Trump administration's tactics when it comes
I can
to
still hear it here.
Ukraine.
And the volume is not that high. So I can't wait to turn it on tomorrow morning when I fix my breakfast, listen to the news, my usual routine. And like I said, it needs an alignment. I didn't attempt it because it's really, really hard to access everything with this configuration, taking the insides out. But yeah, and besides, I don't have a FM generator. But you know, maybe in a few weeks, I might find one. I might find what I need. I just wanted to conclude the day with this. I couldn't be happier. Radio looks so good.
Republicans have, throughout Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine, been on the side of Ukraine because they believed it was the victim.
And I can tell you I wasn't wrong.
Redoing
the restaining the fascia here.
What was a decision based on American values into one that is about commercial interests.
Again,
So,
the approach of the United
thank you guys
States
for
to
being
find a
here,
way to
for
have
being
a
with me for
foreign
the duration of
and
this
a
restoration. It
defense
wasn't an easy one.
that is
And
not
I really appreciate
constantly
if you can please
America's sacrifice.
consider
And as you hear
subscribing.
Mr. Trump
It would
speak
really
about,
help me out
was there a
because I'm at the
lesson
point now where it
learned
starts
from
to
the
get
Iraq?
very expensive
What, in
to fix
essence,
those
can
radios.
the United States
So
achieve
if I could at
that
least
does not move the country in a
get
position
monetized, you know,
of
just a little bit
bankruptcy
so I could pay for the
is
radios.
not looked at as
It would be
the
great.
kid on the block who will provide
So
for
have a good
everyone.
night. Thank you very much
Trump has
again.
looked at a foreign policy